No one escapes my sights! Germinate! I'll race you there! Let it rain! Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward. Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
Should I choose?
Is mistake.
Swift and merciful. Exorcism uses thaumaturgy and martial arts to conquer evil. There are other means to the same end, but they are not the true way.
how they're raised.
My strength still fails me.
Before the resounding thunder, evil must cower in fear. my blade! Spirit blade! Attack! Force my blade! A touch of frost! Submit for judgment! Swift and merciful. Spirit Blade! Attack! A touch of frost. Submit for judgment! Swift and merciful. Spirit Blade! Attack! One with my blade. From whence you came! Submit for judgment! A touch of frost! Swift and merciful! From whence you came! A touch of frost! One with my blade! Samuel's coal to quiet the spirit and calm my vital energy.
can't keep up. No one escapes my sights. No escape. Scatter. Duh.
Ready, steady, go!
No one escapes my sights. Wow, this weather is awesome. Propagate! Germinate!
Is this an answer from this world?
A reward on the road. Go, Barbara, go!
I'll keep an eye on you. What do you think, cutie?
There's still a long road ahead.
Let's set up camp here.
Alright, Paimon also thinks it's a good spot.
Oh. Any particular reason?
This place is perfect to put up a big tent. We can also set up a cooking pot and cook tons of delicious food.
You're not wrong. But the primary reason for choosing this place is because its higher elevation keeps us away from the water vapor below. Rainforests are very wet. You should always be careful when spending the night in damp places. For the next tasks at hand, let's divide and conquer. I'll set up the tent. You'll be in charge of making the fire, and Paimon will forage for edibles nearby.
Leave it to Paimon. Paimon's a pro.
I'm not expecting that much. Just do what you can. That's right. You can use rushes to start a fire in the wilderness. Their piths are relatively dry and can be readily set aflame. The downside is that they produce a lot of smoke.
Traveler, Tainari, Paimon couldn't find any food. Paimon didn't know that rainforest had so many interesting plants until we came here. They were all sort of weird-looking mushrooms, but Paimon didn't know which ones were edible. Paimon also saw wild berries on the ground, and Paimon was gonna fly over and pick them up, but the dead leaves on top suddenly started moving. It freaked Paimon out.
Those were probably dead leaf butterflies. They camouflage as dead leaves to evade predators. My guess is that they mistook you for a bird when you flew over, so they fled. Little did they know that you were more scared than they were. Never mind. The tent's up, so you two go rest. I'll forage for food. Oh, you found some already.
Hey! Paimon understands it this time. It wants mechanical parts again.
Sorry, no part this time. That task wasn't important enough. If every little thing resulted in a reward, then it might start to take advantage of the system. I'll note little things like this, and give a cumulative reward at a later time. That is one reason.
It looks really sad.
After some further thought, it might come up with some weird misunderstanding if I don't give it something. All right, here's another for you. I'm off to prepare dinner. We'll take shifts on lookout duty tonight. You two can sleep first. I'll wake you up later.
We need lookouts?
Yes. Even though most animals fled because of the ley lines, we can't completely let down our guard. It's settled then. I'll set up some pest-repelling devices so, poisonous insects don't come crawling into the tent. Have a good night. Not too good, though.
Paimon's getting sleepy. Is this because of the ley lines? It's been a while since we camped outside like this. This is like when we just started adventuring together. Nighty-night.
You're awake earlier than I expected. Did you sleep well? You have to maintain constant vigilance in dangerous places like this. Yawning all the time like that is no good. If you can't stay awake, it's okay. Go sleep some more. I'm not tired yet. Really? You don't need to push yourself. I'm used to staying up all night, because many plant and animal species can only be observed during nighttime. Speaking of which, have you seen the crab? It was scampering around over there just now, but I don't know where it went. So you can tell, my suspicion is less towards the crab and more directed to its unrevealed owner. A ley line effluence of this magnitude occurred without any warning. Someone probably disrupted the natural flow of the ley lines. Until we fully understand the situation, take extra caution. The academia has banned mechanical lifeform research for years, so the origin of these creatures is very suspect. Topics related to mechanical lifeforms were popular in the Spontamod for a time. Some of my juniors had also thrown themselves into such research. They proposed an intriguing idea. Use our knowledge to create a new and practical life form that could help humanity conquer nature. However, no matter which modules or parts are installed, a machine is innately a construct that receives and executes commands. They can never possess self-awareness like us or other living organisms. In their pursuit to discover the differences between mechanical and biological life forms, zealous researchers performed unregulated vivisections and other absurdly cruel experiments on animals. Research on mechanical life forms was thus banned. The irony is that the researchers became even more impetuous afterward. Who knows? Maybe the subject will be unbanned in a few years. That's a difficult question to answer. I am interested in the topic of mechanical life, but I don't like the researchers' attitudes. It's just my personal opinion. My ancestors and the Veluca Shuna of the desert coexisted together and supported one another. The bloodline of my people was born from this symbiotic relationship. So to me, all life is important. To understand life, you must first respect it. Life is not an expendable commodity, and knowledge should not be wielded like a scepter. These are the points of contention I have with some researchers, and why I left the academia. Once you start placing yourself above other life forms, I mean, what kind of results do you expect to get from researching pure life with impure intentions? Really? Well, I'm glad to hear it. Coffee? Did you prepare this for us? All right. Seeing that you're working so hard to help out, I'll give you another part. You're not planning on using it? Many of your own parts are critically degraded, and you're running low on power. All right. Suit yourself. Oh, and thanks for the coffee, but I'm about to go to sleep. Leave it with her. The night watch is yours. Stay safe.
Sorry. Paimon slept through the entire night. Don't worry. Paimon will be sure to stay awake next time.
Good morning, Traveler and Paimon. A quick question. Do you feel off at all? Me too. The farther in we go, the closer we get to the source of the leyline effluence. We'll be heading out earlier today. I'll take down the tent, and you two...
Is there something we can do?
Extinguish our fire so we don't set the entire forest aflame. Also, retrieve the pest-repelling devices from last night. We don't want to affect the ecosystem here.
Got it! Paimon will take care of the fire.
All right, let's meet back here later. All right, it's about time to head out. As we go further in, we may encounter more berserk machines. The effects of the ley lines will also increase. If you're struggling, it would be wise to avoid conflict. Try to conserve as much energy as possible until we reach the source of the contamination. As I thought, the closer we get to the contamination source, the more mechanical monsters that appear.
for judgment! Forth, my blade! From whence you came!
Propagate! Germinate!
Swift and merciful!
It stopped here!
Upon closer inspection, the plants here are really different. Leyline energies are also stronger here. This may be the place we've been looking for. Ready yourselves? We're going in.
There's a ton of mechanical monsters here. They made this place their lair.
Looks like there's no way to sneak by. Let's take care of them quickly. Keep up. Can't see? Yeah. So. Yeah. Ta. Ra. Ta. One with the force. So. Keep up. I'll uproot you! Can't see? One with the force.
Come on, we can do it. What is this?
Leyline energy is spilling out from here. This device. It's extracting energy from the ley lines without end. Who in the world would do this without considering the consequences? The ley lines won't be able to repair themselves if their flow is perpetually disrupted like this.
That's terrible! We have to stop it! Let Paimon see. Paimon doesn't see controls anywhere!
Standing here is equivalent to being directly showered in leyline energy, which may cause irreversible damage to your body. Take Paimon and get out of here. I'll see if I can find a way to turn this thing off.
here by yourself?
Then let's look for it together. If there's no control unit here, then there must be a trap door somewhere.
You know where it is? Hey, wait for us! What's this? It'll only show up if you step on it?
Be careful and watch your step.
Look! Someone's here! Are you the one that's taking the ley line's energy? Turn off that machine now! Why aren't you saying anything? Too ashamed?
His body is cold. It's emaciated, and his eyes are sunken, likely from chronic malnourishment and stress. He collapsed and never got back up. What exactly happened here? Almost forgot about you. Here. This is the last one.
What is it doing?
I'm not sure. Judging by this room's layout, this place was a laboratory. We should find a repository of research documents if we keep going. The file room will definitely give us some clues, so let's go take a look. Maybe we can piece together what happened here.
Wow! It's huge in here!
This place is very secluded. It's a natural hiding spot.
Did you two find anything?
There are a lot of lab notes, but it would take way too long to read through them all. I found a tape recording used for an experiment, and based on its serial number, it's from 2 years ago.
Tape recording?
Yes. The Spontamod created a device that visually records experiments and consolidates the final production into a tape. However, these devices are expensive to make and aren't entirely stable. That's why they are only used in some laboratories and do not see wider usage.
Come on, let's watch it.
Hold on, let me figure out how to play the tape. Okay, this should do it.
Kakata? Kakata? Seriously, I look away for 1 second and you're gone? There you are. Look here. This is our new home. I, Abatsui, will unleash my talents here and amaze those ancient fossils at the Academia. Oh, you're also quite happy. Kakata, do you know what we're about to do? Yes, I thought not. Listen up, Kakata. I'm going to make a mechanical life form that can be mass-produced. The technology will be unlike anything else that exists. I'll use mechanical organs, and electric currents will course through them like blood. A steel-cast heart that will beat forever, and a brain of myriad components that can think like mine. Inspiration from the ruins and the research that the Academia had banned. I hope everything can start anew from this place. When you can understand our language and live among us, you will no longer be a boring machine, but a truly living being. It's fine. You will understand. One day, you will understand me.
right? And that researcher named Abatui said he wanted to prove something to the academia?
I remember now. I had a junior researcher named Abatui. He was expelled from the academia for researching mechanical life forms.
Junior researcher?
Yeah? What's wrong?
Nothing. Paimon was just wondering, doesn't Abatui look older than you?
He is, but academic progression isn't tied to age. I finished my studies a while ago, so subsequent students generally considered me as their senior.
Oh.
Of course, age can be an issue. For a while, people, always dragged me into pictures. I felt like some kind of animal on display. That isn't important. Let's go and see if we can find other tape recordings. The pipes continue further. Let's head in.
Look! Paimon found another tape! A date is written on it. Let Paimon see. Oh, it's from a half a year ago!
That's quite the time gap. I wonder what happened in between.
It's rare that you malfunction because of an operational error. Seems that making coffee is still somewhat difficult for you. Or is there an issue with my set parameters? All right, there you go. Water entered the chela and caused it to short-circuit, so it couldn't receive signals from the ganglion. Look at me, talking to you like this. You can't understand me anyway, can you? It's fine. I swapped in some new parts, so you should be all right now. Try moving around. Everything in working order? Be more careful next time. We're tight on money right now, so we don't have a lot of parts or power to spare. I'm glad. Karkata, did you know? Yesterday, I dreamed that you could talk. Aren't the bunch at the Academia always saying things like, mechanical intelligence is just an extension of statistics? They were blown away when they saw us talking with each other. Too bad it was just a dream. Forget holding a conversation with me. You're so simple that you probably wouldn't even notice if I died. Never mind. I should probably be worrying about next month's power.
After Abatui left the Academia, everyone lost contact with him. I thought he was so despondent that he gave up on researching mechanical life forms. Instead, he had holed up here and continued his experiments.
Paimon doesn't feel like he's a bad person. He even changed out Karkata's broken parts. Why would he mess with ley lines?
Let's keep looking around. Following the serial numbers, the next recording should be here. The writing is sloppy. Perhaps his state of mind had changed. There's also an undated tape in the wrong spot. It doesn't seem like Abatui put it there.
Maybe Karkata helped him with sorting.
It's hard to say. These are the last 2 tape recordings. Let's watch them.
Sorry, Karkata. I was just thinking about something. Today might become a special day. In my recent experiments, I successfully gave you a living being's instincts. When you're low on power, or if one of your parts is damaged, you will prioritize your survival command and proactively recharge or replace your parts. That is a very dangerous thing. And today, I did something even more dangerous. I've officially activated the 3rd generation ley line extractor. The ley lines will serve as our power source from now on. Conducting research on mechanical life forms requires a large amount of power. Even if I scrimped and saved, the more I have wouldn't last for long. I'm also getting tired, Karkata. I don't know what's driving me to continue with this research anymore. They say that even if it simulates the operation of a living creature's organs, a machine is still an ice-cold tool. I want to prove them wrong. I want to turn you into a living, breathing, and talking being. I'm not talking about anything cheerful, Karkata. Modules for language, emotion, and movement. I've been working my absolute hardest to augment and refine your functionalities, but I've never seen an effective response. You are my finest success, but even you can't understand me. All you can do is execute limited responses based on preset commands or keywords. Karkata, I wish you could speak to me, even just once. Yes, you cannot understand me, so you cannot answer me either. It is what it is. In a few days, I'll sell the failed ley line extractor for some more and continue my experiments. Life goes on, and I have to as well. I don't have any other choice. This is new. If I place another 2 control modules here to simulate the brain's thalamus... Of course my heart decides to act up now. Why did I cut medication from our expenses? Karkata, come help me. Strange. I feel weak. Oh no, I have to shut down the extractor. Shut it off. If we let them recharge indefinitely, they'll go out of control. Right. I never input a command to shut down the extractor, so you don't understand what I'm saying. In the end, it's just like the academia said. Mechanical life forms only bring danger. My research... Was there any point to it at all? I'm sorry, Karkata. In the end, I still wasn't able to turn you into a true mechanical life form.
I see. So, the ley line effluence was an accident. After Abatui's unexpected death, the mechanical monsters were driven by their instincts and continuously drew out power from the ley line extractor. This eventually resulted in severe damage to the ley lines.
Paimon understands. Then why didn't Karkata go haywire like the other machines?
Because Karkata is different from the other machines. To Abatui, for a machine to truly be considered a mechanical life form, it must possess features similar to any other living organism. It should be structured similarly, it must be able to cry and laugh, and it must have the capacity for independent thought. Perhaps only by building such a machine could he have the academia acknowledge his protracted research. But if he had slowed down and saw Karkata as a friend instead of as an experimental product, he would have noticed. Karkata can't speak, and yet it cares about Abatui far more than it does about itself.
What does that mean?
You'll see in a bit, but before that, we have a more urgent task at hand. First, let's find the control unit for the ley line extractor and shut it down. More of this transparent flooring. It feels like a maze. Below us is the final room. The control unit is likely in there.
The way ends here. Wanna try jumping down?
Can't see? Let's nip that in the bud. One with the forest. Keep up. Keep up. Can't see? I'll uproot you! Keep up. One with the forest. Let's nip that in the bud. I hear everything! Yeah. 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 One with the forest. Yeah. I'll uproot you! Can't see? Yeah. Right. Yeah. 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 This should be the control unit. Once we turn it off, the leyline extractor should also shut down. Without an external force damaging the ley lines, they should start to slowly repair themselves. Oh, but I bet you two are more worried about Karkata. Let's head back.
So, Karkata has been collecting parts because it thinks doing so will fix its owner?
Karkata is unable to understand the concept of death. However, it probably remembers when Abatui replaced its parts when it malfunctioned, and how that restored it to an operational state. It's true that Karkata isn't able to think or understand many topics, but it is like a small child that imitates what adults do.
So that's why it kept stealing mechanical parts. But it can't repair its owner, no matter how hard it tries.
Yes, but the important thing is that it formed the thought of wanting to repair Abatui. Who knows how this thought came to be, but it has even suppressed the instincts that Abatui had installed. If it really is as we've predicted, this research truly will make waves in the academia. It might have been possible to achieve this with ancient technology, but no one has been able to do the same with modern tools.
Karkata? Karkata? Can you hear Paimon? Tainari says you're awesome!
It reached its limit. It hasn't recharged this entire time, nor has it replaced its severely damaged parts. It's truly a miracle that it managed to hang on for so long. I'm gonna go confirm that the ley line extractor has shut down. Come with me. Let them be alone for a while. The ley line extractor has ceased operations. Traces of ley line energy are still in the atmosphere, but the effluence's source has been stopped. The purification devices will handle the rest. Moving on. Those affected by the ley lines need immediate care. We'll put up an announcement on the bulletin board about the dangers of entering the contaminated region, and for symptomatic individuals to find Kale. According to the Academia's policies, we need to bring everything back. Research materials related to mechanical life forms will all be destroyed, and Karkata will be disassembled and sealed away.
What the heck?
You two should return first. I'll take care of things here. Although we've stopped the source of the effluence, the ley line energy in the air exceeds normal values. Your bodies won't be able to hold up if you continue to stay here.
But...
Listen, the Traveler hasn't rested very well, right? Also, it'll take some time to pack up all the research documents. You're not familiar with this research after all, so you won't be of much use here. Tell the Adventurers Guild that the incident has been resolved, and, then get some sleep. We can discuss matters tomorrow. Oh, and don't talk about Abatui. The fewer that know about mechanical life form research, the better.
All right. Then let's go back to Catherine. So the contaminated region turned out to be a ley line effluence deep in the forest. Things are already getting back to normal.
I see. Thank you for your hard work. Once the excess ley line energy dissipates from the air, we should be able to make an announcement for residents to resume their normal activities. This is the stipulated reward. Please accept it.
Is Karkata going to be sent back to the academia? It's already damaged, but Paimon feels sad thinking about it getting disassembled. Oh, then how about we find Tainari tomorrow and ask him not to do that? Paimon really wants to go right now, but Tainari said that we would discuss matters tomorrow. We'll probably make him mad if we go now, huh? Alright then, we'll find Tainari tomorrow and tell him not to disassemble Karkata. How are you feeling? Sleep well? We should go find Tainari. How do you think we should ask him?
Keep your voice down. The lilac daphne, a daphne of the genus Familiaceae, has a strong anticonvulsant effect. It can also be made into an anesthetic powder. Extrapolating from these two data sets, it would be particularly potent against Piscine species. Hey, make sure you're getting all this down. I thought I told you all to keep your voices low. Plants aren't afraid of noise, but your shouting is making my ears ring.
You didn't disassemble Karkata?
Why would I do that?
But Paimon thought you said, according to the Academia's policies...
So that's why you two barged in like barbarians at this hour. Fine, I suppose I wasn't clear enough about this yesterday. What I meant was, according to the Academia's policies, all products of research must be destroyed. That's why we can't let the Academia discover that place. Anyway, the first thing I did was repair Karkata. During my time at the Academia, I took an elective course at the Spontamod. Who knew it would prove useful one day? We then buried Abatui together. After organizing the research materials, I kept some as a souvenir. Most of it was burned to hide the evidence. I'm not with the Academia, so what do their policies have to do with me? On the other hand, I am the Forest Watcher of the Avidia Forest. I have a duty to protect all life in the forest. All life brought forth in this world has meaning, and Karkata is no exception. If it exists, then it shouldn't be carelessly abandoned or destroyed.
That's great! Wait, you just said life form. You recognize Karkata as a true living being now?
The possibility exists is all. It's hard to explain Karkata's efforts to repair Abatui. Abatui only left behind a small portion of his research. Who knows how many commands he installed? Maybe a conflict between all those commands resulted in this sort of behavior. From a more rigorous perspective, it is impossible to conclude that Karkata is a real life form. But the possibility exists. I am willing to believe in that. By the way, I'm not interested in continuing research on this subject. I'm just letting it hang out here because this place is relatively secluded. But as things stand now, it wouldn't be a bad idea to make it my research assistant. At the very least, it can record my experiments. What do you think?
Happy to oblige. Take this!
Scatter! Bet you can't keep... lively here. So, just past this wall is the desert, huh? Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this tall, it's gotta be the divine work of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, right?
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
Oh, Hatham went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
Because things are so, ergo they are such.
I should be able to get some cheaper spices this time.
Let's go check it out.
What the? Where did she go? How did we lose them? They were just here a second ago.
More Eremite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time? Anyway, Traveler, it seems like we were being followed again.
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed at the academia.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the academia? Wait, don't tell Paimon that you're here to take us back on their orders!
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the academia's hit list. I can't say that I didn't expect it. However, had I wished to turn you over to the academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremites' honored guests by now?
Oh, right. You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Unfortunately, I've run into some difficulties. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, I must understand how the capsule first came to be. Which brings me back to you and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you interested at all in sharing what you've been hiding from me?
Alhaitham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the academia after all. So considering that, it is indeed wise to keep your cards close to your chest. But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Am I right? No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own. Speaking of, you two are also headed to the desert?
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But we don't really have any concrete goals at the moment.
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else. Well, would you like to head there together?
It's always better to travel with someone you know. Let's go!
An answer from this world?
Ready, steady, go!
Propagate!
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa, this landscape is really something else. What a cool place! Let's go check it out!
Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's wrath?
Oh, Hatham. Do not think you can escape my judgment just because you managed to escape my attack.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Matra, as well you know.
Seemed to me more like your own personal touch.
Who is that, Al-Haytham? Did you call him General Mahamatra?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have committed academic crimes.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Al-Haytham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that comes out of his mouth. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise, there will be consequences.
Has Al-Haytham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Al-Haytham, I saw it during our fight. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. What does this capsule mean to you? And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in the desert? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Academia?
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two? Ugh! What should we do, Traveler? Paimon feels like we can't trust either of them.
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone that we can trust! You gotta help us out here, otherwise these two are gonna start fighting again!
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every day, that's for sure. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over each other. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds. Hey, did either of you hear a word I just said?
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so strong! Is this a sandstorm? Paimon's gonna get blown away!
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to take cover!
Someone's calling for us! Oh, this wind is too strong! Let's get over there!
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you Academia folks such hard work? Move it!
All right, stop yelling.
Well, this is pretty awkward. Hey, wanna play sardines with three people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure, why not? Sounds fun. The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru Village.
Our savior has come at last! Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much for helping us.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister. Unlike those guys over there.
All right, now that we're all better acquainted, we should return to the topic at hand. As a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar, even before the sandstorm started. And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose no threat whatsoever to us. So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another, and put your hostile feelings to rest. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the sandstorm.
On second thought, Paimon may have misjudged Candace's character.
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what I like to hear. So, which of you will begin?
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably start talking.
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen to exile myself.
Huh? Exile yourself?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did report clearly did not match the project's actual progress. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, the person responsible for the erroneous data was none other than Grand Sage Azar himself. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request, but I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were carefully concealed from me. I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the very beginning. Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his desk. He even said to me, "The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have no right to judge us."
So they really are up to no good.
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain their control over knowledge. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the academia of today. I believed it would be wise to flee the academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, they can no longer see nor predict my actions. I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority. Once I find the truth, I will administer judgment by my own name.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scary. Well, Sino, if that's your story, then why did you see Al-Haytham as a target?
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between Al-Haytham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this, Al-Haytham?
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule, and I think we deserve an explanation.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the Traveler.
Al-Haytham!
After all, The promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment, I can give you a glimpse of divine knowledge.
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information, namely that divine knowledge indeed exists. That gave me all I needed to know. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone, even as a reward? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the divine knowledge capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the Academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the Academia. Also, you should remember, you were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Al-Haytham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
I'm willing to apologize if that's worth anything to you. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly studied. After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous thing in this land.
You should be well aware, Scribe Al-Haytham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the Academia. Do you really think they would tell me anything?
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy, for now.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring that I spaced out. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler and is currently recovering from her illness at home. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style. In that case, welcome back, Dia.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in the sandstorm.
Creatures? In the sandstorm? Are you sure you don't want some backup?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at a disadvantage. You needn't worry.
Yeah, just leave them to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
The winds died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Panda still isn't back yet, though. Is she alright? Maybe we should go out and check on her.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's go. We've been here long enough, and the boys are as chatty as the floor.
excited? You've been out here dealing with these creatures the entire time?
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated. Before I realized it, even the sandstorm had stopped.
Ah! Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take my anger out on.
It's been quite a while since I've seen the flame main in action. I'll leave these to you then.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Scatter!
Let's dance. Go, Barbara, go! I'll protect us.
The creature stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm, so we should be safe for the time being.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh? Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the village's elderly and children. I am the chief of Aru village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms are common?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and frequent. Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering of Irminsul.
Another effect of Irminsul's withering. So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and earthquakes here in the desert?
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed be a reflection of Irminsul's present state.
Everyone in Aru Village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they? Village guards like Candace?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village refers to mad scholars exiled here by the Academia. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avidia Forest. The Academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert. Though if you
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been mysteriously disappearing without a trace. But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days, I'd appreciate it if you could keep an eye out for them.
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what I can do to help.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins? I'm fascinated by how you think.
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of investigations. Thank you for your help.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! We need to help get them back home, safe and sound. But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of my former subordinates. Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far. Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins in a strange incident. The Academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru Village. A mysterious phenomenon exists here. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But after spending some time here, they invariably begin to calm down. Initially, the people of Aru village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. But a strange incident one night changed that. Aru village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing buildings on the verge of collapse all around him, the then chief of the village was preparing to take everyone to safety. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, green light radiated from him, like a divine glow against the backdrop of night. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots reaching deep into the ground. In the end, not a single building collapsed, and no one was hurt. After that, the people of Aru village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness, and began to refer to them as the village keepers.
A soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru village? What do you make of it, Traveler? Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the mad scholars continued to wear their Akasha terminals at Aru village?
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha system would no longer have any interaction with them.
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact that they calmed down, it was probably Nahida who calmed them.
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then it appears you possess much more information than I do. So, what do you make of the story? Really? Lesser Lord Kusanali.
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the Akasha to give her power to the mad scholars!
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. I'm just struck by your reasoning. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. Is she really active in Sumeru? The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali, and I've never had any reason to doubt their views. In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds. To me, she might as well have been a god that never existed.
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... How should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind and wise, even if she says weird stuff sometimes.
I've spent many years interrogating criminals, so I can easily tell when someone is lying.
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the truth!
That look in your eyes. I've never seen that from a liar. You two really must have met Lesser Lord Kusanali. How can this be? To think, our Archon has been amongst us this entire time.
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use for this investigation. But easier said than done, especially since we don't have any leads. Maybe we can start by knocking on some doors.
Excuse me, are you here to help me find my grandpa?
Huh? Who are you?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak. You'll help me find my grandpa, right?
Is your grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa. Why do you have to call him that? It's not like he's a bad person or anything.
The person you're referring to is not a local, yet you are. Why do you call him Grandpa?
Grandpa is just Grandpa. He's my family. I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you. I want to find my grandpa. I swear I'll help. I won't be a nuisance.
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was, but I had a vague feeling that they didn't harbor any ill intent.
Whoa. Hatham wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his grandpa. Let's find a way to help him.
Sorry, I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest. If you don't believe me, you can ask Miss Candace.
All right. But first, let's confirm the facts with Candace.
Sino is super vigilant. Is this what all the Matra are like?
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name of Isak?
I had a feeling he'd go looking for you.
Huh? You knew this would happen?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him eavesdropping outside the window. He really wants to get his grandfather back. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. He was raised by his grandfather. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time, so various families in the village took turns caring for him so he could survive. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar bore a striking resemblance to his grandfather, and thus often spied on the man. However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the man as his grandpa, he was afraid and didn't dare to approach him. One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. He even noticed Isak hiding in the distance. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught the boy the names of the stars and accompanied Isak until he fell asleep. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again, only to realize his grandpa no longer recognized him. However, even so, Grandpa retained his calm expression. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in his own world, almost as if he were sleepwalking. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, "Grandpa, want me to take you somewhere fun?" Or, "Grandpa, could you tell me stories about the stars again?"
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad. It seems like they both deserve so much better.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship or regret. But even so, we must still continue on with our lives. It's also my reason for fighting. I must continue to protect this land.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over them.
Huh? What did you say, Sino?
No, nothing. As long as Esau keeps his word and doesn't get in our way, we can take him along.
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for. Please accept my thanks on Isak's behalf, Sino.
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you guys!
We've cleared everything up. Let's go find your grandpa.
Really? Wow! Thank you so much! Yeah!
Alright. Let's ask the local residents some questions first.
Maybe you're not used to the place at the moment, but once you've materialized enough rooms and furniture through subspace creation, it will feel just like home. If you ever have any questions about the realm within, you may ask me.